Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I'm super excited to show you my specs for my new PC build. As you can see here, we got the MV Cochrane flying through the sea, we got full particles, we got ultra graphics on, and we're hitting a steady 60 frames per second. So we're going to look into what sort of graphics and experience you can expect with a high-end computer in this case. So follow along and let's get going. Like I said right off the get-go here, with full particles on and full effects, and one of the most intensive ships that I could find, well, the most intensive ship that I've built. I'm sure there are more intensive ones out there, but I tend to try to optimize it at least. But even still, we're getting steady 60 frames per second with my new build here. So I'm super stoked. In fact, this has to be mind-blowing to me because I've never had a computer this good in my life. So now having this type of ability, like look at that, 60 frames per second steady, no matter what we have going with all of these things here. So I do want to show you my specifications first here. As you can see here on Rate My PC, now we're getting 98%. So I've upgraded to an i7, the 13th gen, so the 14th gen just came out. The 13th gen was good enough for me, to be honest, and I paired it with a MSI motherboard that's compatible with DDR5 RAM, so I put 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I kept my old graphics card. As I said in the last video, the graphics card was not the bottleneck, it was the processor. So I've kept the same graphics card, and as you can see, it's working flawlessly with this processor and with this new RAM. Hopefully I can bring you all a better gaming experience, a better video experience. Of course, in the builder mode, we still may get some drops. So we're at 30 frames per second now, which is at least serviceable. And then for the rest of these, we're getting 60 again. But here it's a nice steady 60. So now that I've got this sort of working properly, at least as far as the graphics are concerned, I'm gonna look into the settings on OBS to give you guys the best gaming or best watching experience for my gaming experience. I need to figure this out, but at least I am able to zoom in and out without it all going crazy. Maybe if I move it fast. Yeah, it's getting some tearing. So I'll look into my OBS, but even this is a world of difference for those of you that know how it used to look when it used to be like jumping back and forth. You also could press F1. See, F1 opens up this menu and it'll tell you where your computer is sort of using its various processes and stuff. So whether it's for the physics, the rendering, the missions, the rain, whatever, hardware. So you could kind of view this little pop-up and get an idea of where your actual computer is doing things if you're not on the epic or high-end level of computing. This may be worthwhile to you so you could figure out and maybe optimize certain things within your game. Just a little fun fact. Now this part's crazy. If I spawn this creation, I can be running here and it literally has like 1 second of a bit, like not even a second of drop, and off we are to the races, whereas previously we were in that slow motion mode. Now don't worry, I'm still gonna try to optimize my creations and make them work good on all kinds of computers, but it is nice to know that I'm gonna have a better sort of experience and that you guys are gonna have a better watching experience as well. So I will try to keep it the same way I've been keeping all my ships thus far and build them so they could run on most computers here. Okay, so with that said, now let's take a look at my actual settings here. But in the world, as you can see, it's working great. And if we go to settings, in the general, I guess I could even turn on fish spawn rate to be high, but we have wildlife enabled, fish spawn rate high, physics detail high, of course. Now, I did find out, on a side note, I showed you that you can remove the sort of smoke coming from your ships if you turn off the particles. If you set infinite gas, your ship smokestack will no longer function, but you could also do reduced. So that's a side note for if you have a low-end or medium-end computer. But with this current setup, we're going full, we're going high, classic, all this other stuff stays the same. Now for graphics, I've turned on AA. I've enabled VSync even though I don't really get tearing. I've put on 10 kilometers or 1,000 or 10,000 meters, but we could honestly put it to 20,000 and the computer will still work properly. So really, I just have everything full maxed out. I have everything fully maxed out here, including this. And if I go ahead and click Save Apply, you could see off into the distance there, it is, you can pretty much take a look at all of the world. Like if I just quickly flow around here, you could see things that are quite far away here, although faintly. But I just personally prefer that 10,000 mark, if even to maybe save some graphics if it's like a really intense situation, but I don't really see a need to be looking more than that 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers is a far sort of range to look. Everything else I'm able to fully max out. So I'm not really going to go into much detail saying that you can play with this or play with that. If you can ride it on Ultra, I do recommend playing on Ultra for the reason of you get sort of a very beautiful experience. Now, yes, the game is blocky and it's kind of like intentionally, I don't know, I forgot the word, but I'm just going to say blocky for now. So things aren't quite like smooth and stuff like you'll find in other games, but you'll at least get beautiful sort of textures and colors and all kinds of stuff when you turn on the displays and look at all that. Everything should be as good as it can be. So I like Ultra, and I'm totally mind blown. I've been trying other games. BeamNG, which is a very graphically demanding game, works amazing with this setup as well. So you'll find more videos with that as well. On a side note, I hate how this thing lists. But anyways, on back to the main note here, I'm really enjoying this graphic setup that I have now, and I'm hoping that I bring a better experience to all of you. So if you are lucky enough to have sort of in that upper 90s range of PC, when you go to rate my PC, if you have that upper 90s range, you will have a fantastic gaming experience and you'll enjoy your time here in Stormworks. So with that said, hope you enjoyed the video, hopefully learned something, whether it be about my own personal gaming setup or whether it is how to set your settings. But regardless, stay tuned for more videos. I have more content coming, more creations, and as always, happy Stormworksing, everyone.